1 in 5 suffer.
Erase the stigma.
Brain difference is not a crime.
Mental health isn't just your problem.
It's our problem.
And now, Mental Health Mondays with Marla and Dave.
Welcome to Mental Health Mondays with Marla and Dave.
With me and Dave. Yeah. Dave and me.
That is right. Happy Valentine's Day, everyone. We want to remind you to text the word GIVE to 818-698-1021 and support our $1 a day keeps the stigma away campaign. We need you. Our guest today is none other than
Marla and Dave.
Us.
I get to keep saying it. Marla and Dave.
Yes, we've been married 33 years and counting. And we wanted to take some time.
Are you going to give a show intro like there's an actual guest? Go ahead. Do your thing, sweetie.
I was saying we want to take some time to talk about love, relationships, and specifically how it relates to our mental wellness and our mental health. Marla, what do you have to say?
What I have to say is that, you know, one of the things that has definitely kept us mentally in check is we, through the years, we're childhood friends and we always keep it fun. So today, in keeping with that, I think that there's a fun way for America to know more about how much we know each other. So I want to introduce our game host for today, none other than T. Sweet.
Why, thank you, Marla.
Well, I'm nervous already. I didn't know I was in for this type of thing. I was handed all kind of equipment and cards for this supposed game that we're going to play. But sit back, relax. We're going to have a good time. Happy Valentine's Day.
Help someone who is struggling by supporting the National Alliance on Mental Illness and be a part of the NAMI effect. Hope starts with you.
All right. I just want to also say congratulations to the Los Angeles Rams.
Tony, can we get some kind of cheer for the Rams? The Rams.
Yay.
Tony, this is a good day for me to just talk about what really happens around here. Tony Sweet is like family, and he's clearly from the Midwest. You see how long it took him to get that cheer together? Now, somebody who's from the West Coast. Tony, what'd you think about that? Please keep your mic on all just so we can just play with you because we love to. Yeah. Mm-hmm. This is the only time you'll ever be in a threesome with us, so just enjoy it. So
don't enjoy it that much.
What'd you think about the halftime show?
It was great. It brought back memories from my early 20s, something like that, teens, whatever it is.
Taking us back in the day.
I thought the halftime show was one of the best I've ever seen, if not the best.
Absolutely.
I can't think of anything to top that. Maybe, just everything. Sometimes it also has to do, in my opinion, with the timing. When things happen, they have sometimes more of a resonating impact based on just where we are in life. And I think that it was a perfect time for us to get some, some West Coast flavor. Hey, I have a confession.
What? I
am a massive Eminem fan. Massive.
You've always been an Eminem fan.
And you know why?
They kind of strike me as odd at the beginning. It threw me off.
Yeah. And the reason, let me be clear, is, Dave being in the music industry, I approach music based on lyrics, and there's something about my spirit that feels like that when someone is resonating a truth, I feel that about Eminem. And he can say something insane and then come back on the next album.
Well, you sense his authenticity is what you're saying.
Absolutely. That he just, whatever his journey is, he's never tried to be anything other than what he is, and he brings it to his music, and that I appreciate. And it's got to be harder to do considering that you're the one true white rap dude in all of rap history, in my opinion.
I would think that you would have to have some level of authenticity when you are in Dr. Dre's camp, because that seems like something that he exudes as well, and pretty much those are the people that he relates to and with.
I just thought about something, though. This is just a passing thing. No one responded to this, but you could just do a fact check. With all the rap that he's ever done, I don't think I've ever heard Eminem use the N-word.
I think so, but
I don't think so. I
Probably
think
not
that
in a different context. Anyway.
Yeah. Anyway,
I just want to,
mental health. We're back. Mental health. Valentine's Day. Mental health.
It's a great Super Bowl. So anyway, like we said, we're going to talk to you about love and relationships inside of our family, in a family setting, and as with our marital setting. And as you know, our story is pretty
more transparent than David would like it to be.
No, we're very public. We're transparent. And so that being said, everybody knows that we have adult children who suffer with mental illness. And from time to time, one of the hardest things that I think that any parent can really deal with is when the children that you love, the child that you love, is going through, even though you know theoretically that this is a mental illness that they're dealing with, but when they start saying the just vile things about you and calling you out of your name, and from your perspective, you would say it's a lie.
Well, no.
But from the mental health perspective, it's a delusion almost, if that makes any sense.
Right.
So, and it's hard sometimes to keep that in the forefront of your mind when you're dealing with those things. And so, you know, just always keep us lifted up and how do you deal with that, Marla?
Well, I recoil from that last thing that you said, because yes, I do agree that the ability to tell the lie comes from a warped mental perspective, but it's still a lie. So I don't think the lie is being told under the
You're saying that I should have said that the mental illness is the reason for
correct. That is what I'm saying.
And so for me, when I say lie, there are times when, and that's, you know, the diagnoses of our children sometimes make it difficult to deal with those types of issues. And that is, you know, when are you in full control? When are you not in full control? Anyway, other than actually losing a child, to hear a child just say, I hate you, and really mean it, and just really
fabricate things about you, which, you know, and let's just keep it all the way real. We have our two older children who we're talking about, and they have different issues. But the one thing I can say, not that one is better than the other, but we don't really have that, the issue. Matter of fact, D's so honest, even in his issues. We always say, he'll say, you know, you want the truth? And we had gotten into a habit of going, please don't.
Yeah.
We just don't tell us. We don't even want to know, because no matter what the topic, D's going to just come direct.
Well, you know, all of our kids know that our love has always been there, will always remain. But when there's an infraction, when you hurt somebody, the fastest way back is to just say, I'm sorry. So, and that's, you know, fortunately for our son, you know, he's very cooperative with his treatment. He's very cooperative and accepting of his diagnosis. He doesn't really like to talk about it. But there are times when our oldest daughter, Moniece, has not been accepting of her diagnosis. And for me, I don't think you have to talk about it, but you do need to accept it for yourself if you're going to make the next step of being able to deal with it appropriately.
Right. And I think that for us, one of the things that I know that, you know, our foundation is spiritual. We're Christians. I grew up Seventh-day Adventist, and both, you know, very much in the church. Dave more so than me, just by parental example. I'm being real. But I think that that foundation for the two of us is harder for me, because we accept and recognize our personalities being different. And I'm very tactile and hands-on and in your face. I'm an extrovert by nature. Dave is an introvert by nature. So, you know, for me, it's a lot harder for me I've had to work super hard to learn a different type of management situation and skill with Moniece. And it's only been recently that I had to say, it's time for me to accept that this is not working at all. And this literally has to be a God thing. So I was going to let Dave speak to the Moniece thing, because, you know, I'm always the one.
Well, again, you know, from my perspective, our oldest daughter is dealing with sort of nearing a break. And so we want to always support her in the correct way and let her know that we're there for her and she knows how to come back. Right now, she's cut us off. That's where we are. And sometimes you deal with that in families with children who suffer with adult children who suffer with mental illness.
And it doesn't change how we love her forever.
Not at all.
That's unmoving.
We are going to turn the corner and get to having some fun with this game show that Marla has in store for us when we come right back.
When Dave and Marla get together,
Mental Health Mondays with Marla and Dave and NAMI San Fernando Valley believe it doesn't take much to make life a little better for our neighbors, coworkers, friends, our family members, even our children who suffer with mental illness. When you support our A Dollar Today Keeps the Stigma Away campaign, you are doing your part to erase the stigma surrounding mental illness. For just $1 today, or $1 a day for 1 week, just $7, we can look forward to a future that does not include the unfortunate and uncomfortable stares, bullying, and the subsequent isolation that our loved ones who suffer with brain differences deal with. Text the word GIVE, that's GIVE, to 818-698-1021 to donate. A dollar today keeps the stigma away. Brought to you by Mental Health Mondays with Marla and Dave and NAMI San Fernando Valley. It's time for the Mental Health Minute with Marla and Dave.
Young adults have experienced a number of pandemic-related consequences, such as closures of universities and loss of income, that may contribute to poor mental health.
During the pandemic, the number of young adults ages 18 to 24 reporting symptoms of anxiety and or depressive disorder rose significantly in comparison to older adults, according to the Kaiser Family Foundation.
Compared to all adults, young adults are more likely to report substance use, 25% versus 13% for older adults, and suicidal thoughts, 26% versus 11% for older adults. And prior to the pandemic, young adults were already at a higher risk of poor mental health and substance use disorder, though many did not receive treatment.
Both those newly experiencing mental health or substance abuse disorders and those already diagnosed before the pandemic continue to face additional barriers to find treatment due to facility closures and other availability issues.
If you or someone you know are experiencing mental health or substance use challenges, reach out to NAMI or Loving Beyond Reason and ask to be connected to resources in your area. This message is brought to you by Mental Health Mondays with Marla and Dave.
David is a thinker.
I never do anything without thinking about it first.
Marla is a feeler.
I basically wear my personality on my sleeve.
But when Marla and Dave get together, it's like a match dancing with a firecracker.
I just proved something that's very interesting that came up in my mind. So Dave, before we read Mental Health Monday, said, I made it bigger. Like I was going to, bigger's not always better, clearly, because I flubbed this too. What?
Oh, no,
so
you did a great job. How about a round of applause for Marla, everyone?
Yay.
Tony said yay. All right, so
tell us about this game show.
There's been a list of questions. First of all, we want to welcome to the stage T Sweet. He's been hosting the Mad Love Connection for almost 34 years. Ladies and gentlemen, our resident host, game show host, T Sweet.
Why, thank you, Marla. Thank you for joining us tonight.
So Tony has a list of questions, and we are going to answer the questions by either responding you, which would be either it's you, which is me, or her, which would be me, or him. So if
is
I
it
think
a time component? Is it the first one to raise your thing, or okay, good.
And we can discuss.
Okay.
If you find that the topic and the question, if you're not really okay with the answer, if you think you can come to some type of unanimous consensus, by all means, attempt to persuade me.
Well, since I don't know the game, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Okay.
So anyway,
so Tony's going to ask a
game.
question, and we're going to respond with our cards.
I got you.
Ready, Tony?
I'm ready, so
Ask away.
people want to know, who made the first move for your first kiss?
Was it her?
I should wait until he's ready because he's going to change his decision. I shouldn't have done that.
Oh, that's a hard one for me. I put it like this.
Okay, one piece of paper in your
And
hand.
the reason why I say is because from my recollection, I would say that we knew it was about to happen at that age. We kind of already have it pre-set up. And we just went in for the kiss.
I think that what I remember is one of the things that David later confessed was my assertion. I was if I knew that it was going to happen, he was liking the fact that I was the one who would take the head, and he'd seen me kiss somebody else at one point, and he was.
I did see her kiss one of my friends one time, and I was like, man, I think I like her.
So I think,
which sounds weird, but
I think it was.
Is that weird?
Well, I don't know. You were a shy person, so maybe that's why it just alleviated you.
I don't think that's why. I think we were all going.
Do you remember where our first kiss was? I think I remember.
I do know where it was, as a matter of fact.
Where was it, Dave?
It was behind the nursing building at Oakwood.
I will give you that. Okay. Tony, so I can't, Dave really didn't respond. I said that it was me. I thought I had more of a conclusive evidence that would be true based on that conversation. Yeah. So, okay.
But you recognize that I remember what happened based on me knowing where it was.
Yeah, except.
There you go.
Yeah, okay.
Is that where Mother's nurse?
No, the nursing building.
I can see why Dave.
But there was a Darius.
Why is Dave always by the nursing building? Oh, okay. What's next? What's the next question, Tony?
I think I know this one, but who is more romantic?
We have to hold your cards up at the same time.
I'm ready.
1, 2, 3, go. I guessed it.
Yeah, Dave is definitely.
But Marla is so pragmatic that usually, at the beginning, I was way more romantic than I am now. It's had it beat out of me. Like, no, don't hit me. No. I've had it worn out of me, really, because she did make me feel like I was kind of going over the top. Wouldn't you say?
Well, if you're referring to that,
she doesn't like certain
things. If you're
things.
referring to that, right? If you're referring to being very clear about what my preferences are, then yes. And if you call that beat out of you, then you're welcome.
But a lot of things that were very romantic gestures to my mind, Marla she doesn't like flowers. She doesn't like chocolate.
Okay, let me be clear. I don't dislike a flower. But I don't want necessarily, I'm not so into flowers that I feel like, oh my God, roses.
She's a lot like her uncle, who had a place on Sesame Street. Anyway.
Count Dracula.
Oh, I can't. All right, Tony.
You kind of answered this one already, but who likes to go out more? Yep.
Definitely. I just said it before. I'm an extreme extrovert. But, I think I'm kind of a little tricky character because I've never been a club person. There's some fun facts about Marla. Marla has participated in going with friends to clubs, but it is never my suggestion and or my comfort level to want to be at a club. I don't know why, there's almost a little small bit of anxiety, truth be told, that comes with me in clubbing. I don't know if it's an expectation. I don't know if it's what happens.
I know
when
a lot of women back in the day when we would go out.
How far back, Dave?
Pretty far back.
Yeah, 40 years.
Pretty far back. A lot of women would be anxious and full of anxiety in the club because it does seem like a place. And I wonder if that used to happen more than it does now, where guys were really just trying to hook up.
No, that's what I think the club is all about in general. Is that.
And so, but I used to have fun with some girls that I would see there all the time, and we would just dance for hours, and it was fun. You go home.
Did you dance? Were these dances with your clothes on?
No, clothes on.
Okay, I'm just checking.
Do we have time for one more?
I think we do. Go ahead, Tony. Ask
Let's
it.
do it. This one I really want to know, and I hope I'm right. Who likes to have sex more? Shocker.
That would seem a shocker, considering that I'm such an extrovert. Yeah, I think when you start your life off with Bible studies in one hand and pornography in another, then maybe you become. I made that up. I don't know that's.
Was that you or me?
I wasn't sure which hand. I'm really talking about you.
Anyway, I think we know each other pretty well just from that one segment alone. I would say
we have some more. Well, yeah. Well, I would hope so.
I think Marla's trying to stump me.
What?
I think she's trying to catch me up.
Just deal with it. We'll be right back.
All right, fun music lets you know what time it is. And Marla, what time is it?
It's poll time, but the thing about it is when I do this, I have to remember that I'm looking at myself in the camera, so when I think I'm going this way, anyway, forget it. It's poll time.
Last week we asked, what percentage of adults in the United States experience a serious mental illness in a given year? Your options were A, 4%, B, 10%, or C, 16%.
And we had Carolyn Griffey on, and I remember her answer because I marked things down.
Good. What
and
was
Carolyn
it?
was wrong. She said 10%. Carolyn?
The answer is 4%.
Your answer was incorrect, but that was pre-pandemic.
That was so, and now I'm starting to switch some of this information to post-pandemic. So now the new question is what, Marla?
What percentage of young adults between the ages of 18 and 24 reported symptoms of anxiety or depressive disorder during the COVID-19 pandemic?
Your options 11%, are A.
B, 37%, or C, 56%. I'll say it again. A, 11%, B, 37%, or C, 56%.
That's right. So remember, again, $1 today keeps the stigma away. That's our campaign. Please text the word GIVE, G-I-V-E, to 818-698-1021. Back to the show.
I was talking to Jackie in the chat room. I was just about to tell her. She said, dang, beat it out of him. Don't let Dave catch you up with his little self-pitying.
She's so cruel.
Don't listen to him.
I joke. These days, when it comes to saying things online that have to do with Marla, that could be a sensitive subject. So
No. It's all good.
I want everyone to know that I'm seriously joking.
It's all good. I know better than that. And everyone also knows about me that I'm not going to be beaten by anybody. I fight back. I'm a fighter.
So you are going to try to beat me?
Maybe tonight. All right, Tony.
All right, where are we?
All right, we have another question.
All
Who
right.
is more likely to say, I'm sorry?
Ooh. Mm-mm.
Ooh.
Wow.
A disagreement.
Mm-hmm. So let me tell you guys, this is a good conversation. David will say he's sorry, but he says he's sorry. I'm sorry. His sorry literally sounds like this with most every issue. I'm sorry you feel the way you feel. It's not I apologize because I messed up or I'm agreeing to what you're saying. It's literally, oh, you're having an issue, sweet little thing. I'm sorry that you feel like that. That's his sorry. And I'm going to pose one more thing. We used to have the doghouse. And the one more thing is that the truth is I don't hold on. He does. If I have an issue of any kind, I will emote. Whatever that emotion is, I'll talk about it. I may be even a little explosive if it warrants that. But then when it's over, I'm like, okay, good. Let's go get something to eat. And David is like, really, Marla? I don't just change gears like that.
I think, I hear you. I think those are two different concepts, though. But when I say who's the first to say I'm sorry, I feel like in a discrepancy between us, regardless of who's right and who's wrong, I feel like I'm the first to say, you know what, it's not that deep. Let's just.
But we haven't solved anything. Yeah, you're the first to want to diffuse and make things introvertish. But
no, but that's what I mean by apologizing. Now, I'm not in the habit of saying I'm sorry for something that I don't feel like I did. So, but I am always willing, and like I said at the beginning, we were talking about our family, and our family, if you did not mean to hurt someone and someone says that I'm hurt, if you didn't mean to, it should be easy to say I'm sorry.
All right. Well, we're gonna leave that as our one standoff. Tony, next question. These should be turned upside down, so you can't, because you jumped out there first.
It's time for another question.
I think you changed the answer.
Okay. Who cries easier?
I've seen Dave shed 2 sets of tears in our entire life, and one of them, I'm pretty sure it was raining. I'm not sure that he was actually crying. I think he might have come in from outside the ranch. Here's a story that's actually true. When David and I were in 8th grade, I want to say, it was either 8th or the 9th grade, my father drove us on a field trip. And we, our family had money, and so we always had a custom van. So it was always cool to be one of the kids that got to ride in our van, because several parents would carpool. And I think this time, to be honest, we were going to the Birmingham Zoo. We were living in Huntsville, so it's a nice drive, and we're, a little distance. So I had David in our van, and when he was getting either in or out of the car, he was holding on to the door jamb, and I was in the front seat, and I literally slammed the door and smashed his hand. He was holding the door between the front and the back. We had a slider, and I was like, okay, let's go. And he was like, Marla. And I was like, what? My hand. He never screamed. His entire hand up to here. All of his knuckles had disappeared. Nothing was out but his palm.
What can I say? I will have to admit that it was strange.
And I didn't see one tear.
The look was more shocking because I could see the tips of my finger inside the door, inside the van, and the rest of my arm outside. And everyone's jumping in saying, okay, let's go. And I'm thinking, okay, if they drive off like this, I'm really in trouble. But it was like Daniel in the lion's den. I didn't feel a thing. I literally didn't feel a thing.
What we learned here today, people, is that David is missing some nerves. We're going to have to take him to the doctor. I'll let you guys know what the report is. Okay, so.
But I was also emotionally conditioned to not cry. I used to cry pretty easily when I was younger. And I made the determination, when I felt like I was being, spanked or something, when I didn't deserve it, I was like, you know what? I'm not going to give my parents the satisfaction of seeing me cry when I get a spanking. I stopped crying, for real.
So you just decided. I made that decision.
I pretty much decided.
I made that similar decision with my mother. I think at some point, and my dad, where I was just like, yeah, enough is enough. I'm done. So you better figure something else out, cause.
And I think that's the beginning of the early teens when you're going through that period, and I think that's an adjustment. It's a healthy thing that when young people start to self-actualize and identify, who they are, and they kind of pull back away from their parents a little bit. I think that's just a part of life.
Right. Okay. Tony?
Right. Well, who is more athletic?
I would, I'm going to say both like this.
Put that damn sign down.
I will say that Marla has much better form when we're doing the same behaviors. Her form is always perfect.
First of all, let me say
that she likes to point her toes, and I think I was also traumatized by pointing my toes in the swimming pool when my sister was trying to make me and my younger brother. What do they call that when you're dancing in the Olympics?
The synchronized swimming.
Yeah.
See, the mere fact he didn't know that, he does not get the athletic card. And the reason that he doesn't get the athletic card is Dave is great at whatever he decides to do. There's some things Dave won't do. So he tried stand-up paddling in Hawaii one time, and he was like, I don't like it. I'm not doing it. So no matter what happened from that point on, he didn't do it. And so therefore, the mere fact that I've done outrigger paddling, I'll do anything pretty much. I'll try it at least one time.
You heard it here. We're going skydiving.
That's not athletics. That's foolish.
Oh, you got to be strong.
Tony, is there a question in there that says which one of you is the bigger fool? Because I would love to be able to use my cards.
Well, the next question might actually answer that.
Okay, go ahead, Tony.
Who is, or I'm going to add on, thinks they're funnier?
Oh.
Oh, another discrepancy.
It's not really a discrepancy, Tony.
You should be holding your sign up in front of your camera.
I will say this, and I was holding it up. I will say this. We used to have we're very competitive as a family, I would say. And so we used to try to determine who is the funniest person in the family. And, I think by far I am the funniest. It's just a different way of expressing it than Marla has.
First of all, again, my credentials speak for themselves. Marla actually was on the stand-up comic circuit.
Yeah, she was.
And so you were singing 𝘬𝘠𝘢𝘺. So why don't you just get away from that me card again? Tony, next question.
Okay. I'm like that one. Let's see. The next question is, oh my goodness, who yells more?
Oh,
that's sure.
That's a no freaking brainer.
Look at that was like
goes without saying.
Dave, quick, he got that one quick.
I'm not that demonstrative of a communicator.
Yeah, I don't even think Dave has those kind of decibels in his voice. I'm shocked.
I think I might actually get angrier, but I don't.
But he keeps it inside, so no one's ever seen it. So we don't know. Dave's inside of himself, boxing himself.
Well,
And wait a minute, hold on. We're gonna end with a couple, but we got to take this last break, then we'll be back to close.
Here we go.
Bad.
What are you doing? Worthless.
Don't trust them. They'll hurt you. You're worthless.
It's pointless.
When the pain of schizophrenia meets hope, everything can change. Help someone who is struggling by supporting the National Alliance on Mental Illness and be a part of the 𝘬𝘦𝘦𝘱𝘴 effect. Hope starts with you.
It's raw, real, and unfiltered.
Well, we've got time for one final question. This is our grand finale. Go ahead, Tony.
Okay. I am ready to give you the biggest question of them all.
Oh, yeah. Well.
What is your wedding date?
Mm-hmm. Da, 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 da.
Can I see your pen before you show yours, since your pen is the bolder of the two?
Da, 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 da. Brank, dank, 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 dank.
Go.
Da, da. Oh, sorry.
What is?
What David? Okay, he's got a little handwriting problem. Mine is 4 O's backwards. Mine is April the 2nd, 1988.
And mine's April 3rd,
okay,
1988.
so you're wrong. So Tony, it was 7 days. Was it 7?
I don't think it was.
We got married in the courthouse March 25th, and our wedding was a week later, which was alumni weekend.
We got married on a Friday
in the
courthouse.
We're going to leave you on a cliffhanger because we're going to No, because it was a Sunday.
Right.
Which was so the first anyway.
The courthouse was a Friday.
88. That's what we need to look up. We want to know.
We're going to find out real quick.
We're going to know the first Sunday in April in 1988. That's the date.
While Tony is looking that up for us, I just want to, in closing, say that, what you see, Marla and I always having fun together. At the beginning of our marriage, we had been friends for so long, even when we would get into pretty serious arguments, we would lay in bed and neither one of us wanted to let it go. By the time we were over, we'd be just telling jokes and playing the dozens, and we would no longer be angry because we just started having so much fun.
And we also appreciate you guys giving us a chance. It was fun that you get to really know your host. This get to know us a little bit better. You're never going to know us as well as we know ourselves. We planned it that way.
So Tony, do we have an answer?
If I had a drum roll, I would, but it's on the screen. April 3rd, 1988.
No, what did you say?
April 3rd.
Oh, my goodness.
Marla.
Wait, it happened right here on Mental Health Monday. We're not married. I'm free.
No, you're trapped.
It's happening. It wasn't real. Nothing.
Ball and chain. Anyway, you guys, thank you so much for always spending time with us.
And remember, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead, please.
No, I was just going to say that, your mental health is not always connected to a mental illness. Your mental wellness matters. So check in with yourself every day. Remember that you're not alone.
Absolutely, and that's the biggest message. We're trying to erase the stigma. You are not alone. Remember, $1 today keeps the stigma away. See you guys next week.
Bye.